Hello, I'm David Carnes, and I want to talk to you today about the Felix, which is the new device, AI powered device for treating essential tremor. I was lucky enough to get pulled into the pivotal study that they were using to get FDA approval. Fasikl is located about 10 miles from my house here in Minneapolis. And so I got to know some of the engineers there, and they connected me with a early device, prototype device, and I found it was really effective for me in treating my tremor. And I was lucky that I became one of the first of five people to get a real prescription for it. So I have my very own Felix here that is currently turned on and treating my essential tremor in my right hand. So you can see I got a little bit of shake there, but that's a big improvement from uh, what it can be when I get nervous or when I get videotaped or what have you. It's really not too bad. No propranolol, no medication or anything other than the Felix. I guess a little bit of history to see if this might apply for you as a person with tremor. I have a pretty mild tremor, but I'm an avid guitar player. So because of this, it really bothered me when I would try to practice. Obviously, I need to get precise fingering, and with my tremor mostly in my right hand, it really bothered my playing. So it's been getting progressively worse as I've been getting older, and I um, was thrilled to find a solution that didn't involve medication to help treat my tremor. And it really seems to have turned the clock back for me, stopped it from getting worse, and it has improved. So the cool thing is that it seems to work beyond um, the when I'm not wearing it as well. So it seems to be retraining my body. And let me explain a little bit, at least my theory. Now, this is me non-technical. This has nothing to do with Fasikl or anything else. I'm just trying to give the straight scoop for people who might be considering this who have essential tremors. So here's how it works. You see the device on my wrist here. I'm going to turn it off right now. So it stopped flashing. I'll take it off and I'll show you how this works. So there's this band that I have here, which it you put around your wrist before you begin treatment, and these come in a package like this. And so there's this electrode gel on one side, and on the other side you've got the electrodes, and the electrodes kind of correspond, if you can see there, to the main nerves that come into your hand. So there are three nerves. So there's this one here. This one here is kind of in the middle, and this one that's off to the side. So the spots where those nerves come in, those main nerves then um, get monitored by the Felix, and it sends the signals to the AI in terms of the signals coming from the brain to the hand. And uh, as it monitors the signals, it's looking for tremor. It's trying to find, the overcorrection and the stimulation in terms of your brain trying to handle your position of your hand in the world, which I think is part of the theory of why the tremor is happening. And then it sends an electrical signal in to disrupt that incoming signal, and it forces your body to grow new connections. So there are always alternate connections within your body. There's redundancy built into everything. It's my understanding of this, so it's forcing. I think the stimulation is forcing these different paths to grow new nerves, and it's forcing development neuroplasticity in your brain to make new connections. And so that's why I'm seeing a big reduction in my tremor. The measurements talking to the Fasikl people say they've seen a reduction of 40% for me for my tremor and just day to day, which is pretty exciting. And I definitely am feeling it myself. Um, so I'm going to share my screen here in my Zoom. Bear with me a second here. Share. Um, iPhone mirroring. Here it is. Select. Okay. So I actually have the app here, and I'm going to put my Felix back on, and I'll turn the stimulation so you can kind of see. So it's like, so your phone is talking to the Felix, and okay, so I've got it on, and now if I want to, I can tweak the calibration. Remember, I said the three nerves, these correspond to the ulnar median and radial nerves. I couldn't remember which ones they were, to be honest. But this is the level of stimulation. So as you turn the stimulation on, you feel it. It's kind of a little bit of a, you get used to the sensation, but a little bit like when your limb falls asleep and you have like a pins and needles. So there's a little bit of a kind of a feeling like that to it. So I can tweak any of these settings, and you can kind of tweak it because you can feel it in different parts of your hands. I'll say yes, start treatment. And the treatment's on, and you can see the AI as it makes adjustments here. These numbers change depending on the level of stimulation being sent to my hand, which is kind of cool. There's a whole bunch of additional setting guides, help, that sort of thing that are built into the app. So you need to have a decent smartphone to use a Felix. So that's something that you keep in mind. But the app is so simple to use. You just you know essentially can turn it on and turn it off. You also, I'm going to stop my share here. You also can turn it on or off just by hitting this little button here on the side, and that turns the stimulation off, and you can see the light stops flashing. I can turn it back on just by doing this, so now the stimulation has started again. And that controls also turning it off and on. Um, you can hold this in then and turn it off, and then you hold it in and turn it back on. And then the end of each day, you pop it into a little charger here and it charges it up, just like having an Apple Watch or something like that. And just for comparison's sake, you can say, here's my Apple Watch right here. Here's the Felix. So you can see it's a little bit chunkier, um, but given the benefit for me, I'm willing to live with that. Trying to think of any downsides to this. You don't want to wear it exercising really, where you're going to get sweaty or have it get jostled around because you want it to stay put on your wrist above those electrodes. Also, you don't want to get it wet, so you got to be careful of that. Um, I was recently walking my dog, and somebody's sprinkler system turned on, and I didn't. It didn't touch my Felix, but I was startled. I just didn't want it to get wet. So yeah, I'm very excited about being part of the first group of people using this. I've been seeing the benefit, and I would say if you have um, essential tremor, it's definitely worth taking a look at. It's much, to my mind, much better to try something like this that's non-invasive, that can leverage your body's own growth and capacity for healing, than to try to go in and have a deep brain stimulation inserted or some focused ultrasound, which were two alternatives I was looking into as I was seeing my path for progression. And now I am hopeful I'm not going to need anything like that. I've got a way to manage it, and it's been getting better. And, just even arresting it so it doesn't get any worse, I'm super excited. So I hope this video helps.